Ho, ho, ho. Well, if I don't get on a ho, ho, ho hurry, I'll be going on the naughty list because this is the dining table and it'll probably take us 3 or 4 days to get sorted ready for Christmas. So I'm going to share with you an update of where I've got with this DR1 project. And if I do that, I'll start to slowly tidy things up. It may be the last video before Christmas now. You never know, I might sneak a little bit more modelling in. But if I don't sort this out, I'm definitely going on the naughty list. So bear with me and we'll have a quick overview on the progress that I've been making with the rebuild. Well, there you go. That's what I've been primarily busy with, and that's the tail feathers of the DR1. I've totally covered and finished the rudder. This has obviously been painted up. It only needs some fuel-proof flashing on, and then it'll be ready to permanently affix to the surface once the horizontal starboard elevator has been painted. At the moment, it's just cable tied into place, but that's surprisingly rigid, and I'm sure that once it's strapped on with cobblers, thread and epoxied, that'll provide a good hinge. A bit old school, but you know, it doesn't mean it's not going to work. The main thing that I've done is obviously I've covered the horizontal stab and the elevators, and it's been doped. There are 3 coats of thin down dope on there, and this, for those of you who've been following, of course, it's the dressmaking, dress lining, 100% polyester, and it makes for a very good finish. It's a little bit more laborious, but I think it's well worth the effort. I've also added cross braces, and I think these are really structurally necessary on a stab as big as this. Without these, I'm sure this would twist and be pulled all over the place. And as it'll be primarily, I think, an elevator and rudder flying experience, it's important that these don't flop all over the place. You'll also notice that this is now in place, although I did another video on how it was made. I did move the pivot point, not the pivot point, sorry, the spring retention point. It was further forward, and I think it's more effective here. There's a steel pin going through here, which will be hidden quite easily. And there's a very strong spring here, which provides the support that's necessary for this tail skid. If I put the model down, I'll have it takes 2 hands, so I'll just pause it for a second, and then I'll have a word about the CG now. Well, I got a lot of really helpful advice regarding the CG on this model. I was really concerned that it was going to be massively nose heavy, and I was assured that it would be a very rare species indeed if a DR1 turned out to be like that. They're nearly always tail heavy. Now, with just the tail feathers done, the CG is about 1 inch further forward than it needs to be. So I'm sure that once the wings are covered and the fuselage is covered, that I'm going to be actually trying to add weight to the tail to the nose rather than the other way around. It was because of this engine, and I got a lot of good feedback. It's a Zenoa 38. It's a big lump of a thing, magneto petrol engine, but a number of people who use them have actually said that it's a bulletproof type engine and to stick with it. So that's what I'm going to do. It only remains now really to give you a little bit of a hint to what's coming, but I'm going to be a bit mean. I'm not going to tell you the exact colour scheme. If you want to know what it's going to be, well, a couple of clues. It isn't going to be red, because I don't really like that the red triplanes, and they're so common. It's going to be an aircraft that was flown by a Hans Corner of Jasta 19. I don't know if I've got the pronunciation correct, but if you want to see what that is, you need to look it up. So it just remains for me to say thank you very much for all those people who followed my building exploits this year. In the spring of 24, I think I had about 800 subscribers. We're now standing at about 2,200, so I'm really, really pleased with that. And the main thing is, I've gained a lot from that in terms of enjoyment, but also knowledge. I've had lots of advice, sometimes unsolicited, but always welcome. We can always learn from each other. And I hope that some people have learned some tips and ideas that I've found useful in my building over the years. So it just remains to be said, I hope everybody has a great festive break. A Merry Christmas to all of you who celebrate Christmas, and if it's just a break from work and time with the family, all the better. So take care. There may be another video that drops before the Christmas or between the New Year. I don't know. It all depends on whether I'm in the naughty book or the good book, whether I get away with it. Bye for now, folks.